I'm Daemonxel, and this is your Eve Echoes Community News Break, where we take a close look at one of the main stories of the week and really dig into both sides. And what we're going to be digging into today is the controversy and scandal of this new OCR Cambot, which has blown up over the last week. But before we do that, if you can tag that subscribe button, ring that bell, share and like the video, then of course you'll stay up to date with everything we have to do here on the channel. Now, I know you guys are all still waiting for that big news video from over the last 2.5 weeks to drop, and I'm still editing it. I'm sorry, my time's just very stretched thin, but I wanted to get this video out today while everyone is still talking about it. I didn't want this video to end up in the old news category. Now, this all started a couple days ago when Captain Benzie posted a video called "This is Disgusting," a new exploit to Eve Echoes. Now, in the video, he goes over several different screenshots and everything that was made available to him from a pilot that showed his old corporation and what they were using. This bot that would innocuously sit there at a gate, cloaked, and just report on everything that passed through the gate through Discord. And it would ping everybody when there was something substantial coming through. In other words, well, not so much substantial, but basically the pilot's name and the ship they were flying. Now, this would also put the pilot into a database so that the bot could actually put out a spreadsheet of exactly how many times this pilot has been through these systems and what they were flying. So basically, a fleet could be on standby. When knowing this pilot is in their territory, they'll know exactly what he's flying and what he's always flown, and there you have it. Now, this all happens outside of the game. There is nothing that happens inside of the game covering this, as Benzie states in the video. They still, consider it an exploit because it's, information is king, and you can't get this information outside of the game unless you're playing the game. Now, this information was pushed over to the devs, and before the video blew up, the devs basically said there's nothing on our end. They were able to check that account, and that account innocuously is not doing anything. It's just sitting in space, cloaked up. All the operations is happening outside of the game. And this is where the true controversy happens, because yes, it's a bot, but it's not like one of those bots that you have inside the game, the PvE bot or the mining bot, which will, circumvent the mechanics and just do a bunch of keystrokes or scripts to make sure that you keep going back to an asteroid field, mining. If someone gets into the system, it'll automatically warp you out to a citadel or POS and dock you until that person leaves. Then you'll come back out again and continue mining. And it'll do this in pattern over and over and over again. Same thing with the PvE bots. It's used for multi-boxing, and it will basically just command all the ships to keep attacking the same target. And I would say 90% of the time, NetEase is able to identify those bots and put the account out of commission. I might be giving NetEase a little bit too much credit. Let's say 75% of the time, okay? Now, there have been a number of comments in the thread of this video, most of them condemning the bot, others, basically indifferent about the bot.
No, it's illegal.
Legano, ni legano, it's gray area.
And if you're all wondering which corporation alliance this is, it is AAA Ad Astra. So as you can guess, since Captain Benzie did not black out the corporation names or the pilots in the screenshots, they have basically come under fire for this, using this bot. Let's come back to the comments in a minute on the video itself, because there's some other things we have to hit. First of all, there is a response from Ad Astra about this bot itself, and I even asked him a few questions. The official response from AAA is that AAA as an alliance have always fought the different kind of botting. The bots who interact in-game, mining, interacting with the market, etc., are a cancer for this game and always have been forbidden in AAA. We developed a bot who is just reading the screens and work the same way than a lot of the bots who are used in everyday alliances to calculate kill boards, for example. Our bot did not make any modification or notification in-game according to the 3.3.3 EULA chapter of the Terms of Service. If our bot is violating the EULA, as some content creators tend to declare, What about the bot Auxilus? Not a free, by the way. Promoted by they think it's promoted by the same content creator, Captain Benzie, but it was actually put out by PM Blue, a developer content creator. They go on to say, what about live streaming on Discord? What about the vocal on Discord, which is definitely help from third-party software to coordinate fleets? What about the live capture to make nice video on YouTube, Reddit, and etc.? AAA, as an alliance, think that the devs, instead of spending time threatening us and restricting the possibilities for honest pilots, should focus on the main problems. The possibility of ghost camping 24/7 days a week, solutions to exist, fuel consumption to make the module work, restrictions to Omega clones, etc., etc. The pay-to-win orientation, the elitist PvE, the number of players still dropping in the game, the log-off in 5 seconds, and of course the botting in-game, which is still present today. The multiboxing, always forbidden, Chapter 3.3.3 of the EULA, but extremely common in the game. And they go on and go on. The fact that some devs and some content creators have access to the test server makes us confident on their ability to find a solution. The automation of the bot has been deactivated. The time to have a real answer from the dev team is now. Best regards, AAA Alliance. Now, I did ask a few questions from AAA leadership on this subject, such as, what would you say to those stating there is a distinct difference between the Killmail bot and this bot that you're using? They state that the use is different, but the mechanics of the bot are the same. Extracting data from a picture, basically reading the picture. I also asked, if you wouldn't mind, how long has AAA been using the OCR Cam? And they basically said that they don't mind answering that. They've been using it for the last 2 weeks as a beta test. And my third and final question to them was, the devs went on record saying that this goes against their EULA and terms of service, but also has no way of verifying this from their side of the game. So with that in mind, will AAA continue to use it? And as a follow-up, if there is no way to verify in-game on their end and it does not affect in-game mechanics, in your opinion, does this actually count as an exploit? They state that right now we are already deactivating the automation of the bot, the time of figuring out what to do. We saw it first as a nice idea to protect some areas. I saw some people saying that we could use it to camp enemy systems. That has never been in our mind, actually. I will definitely not see it as an exploit. It's more of a smart way to use the possibility of ghost camping 24/7. Ad Astra members and others playing are asking since a long time for the devs to fix the issue created by the cams and the 24/7 ghost camping. As I said in our official statement, there is plenty of solutions for that. Fuel cost, Omega clone restriction, a SOV module, etc., etc. We hope that the devs will react and fix this issue, that our bot becomes useless in the near future. One more thing, a lot of people asked us to release it in open source, and we will not do it for now. We still hope that this problem will bring NE to the table to fix the cloaking problem. And if you're not familiar about that, that's basically the problem of a lot of these corporations and alliances out there with this, separate channels on the Discord called cams, and they either use a pod, which is just basically sitting there in space, or just a regular cloaked up ship, 1,000 cam off the gate. And it's not reporting to Discord, but anyone could go into those channels. Say you need to make a run to Jita and you have a pipeline that you can look down these cams and see who's in system, so if there's going to be a gate camp or not. Now, before we get into the comments on the video and another community post by Benzie about this whole situation, let's talk about the history of this bot. This bot is not a new thing. Yes, in this orientation for AAA, they've been using it for 2 weeks. It is new from their software. However, this type of bot has been in existence since the beginning of the game. In the beginning of the game, right after Terran Federation fell, we moved out towards Branch, Venal, and Tenal area, those of us who extracted ourselves from that situation. Now, those regions, before the Great War with Silent, was owned by Fireflies and DSSL. Now, Fireflies also implemented this type of software. They weren't doing it cloaked. They had a pod which would also run on a bot script so that if you killed the pod, it would respawn in that citadel and just warp right back to the spot again. Also, what this would do was it would take snapshots of the anomalies in those systems. So in case anyone came in to farm their territory, their renters, it would report who was in the system. And if, say, one screenshot from 15 minutes ago said that there is an Inquisitor in that system, and then the screenshot 15 minutes later shows the Inquisitor is gone and that person is still in system, well, they know that, their specials have been raided by XYZ. And this is back 6 months after launch. So this is not a new thing for the community to get outraged about. Everyone out there has been using cams or some kind of way to alert to a gate camp or people in your system. This time it's only used to ping everybody outside to let them know that someone's coming in. Now, during this whole debate when the video dropped, and subsequently a day after, the devs did actually make an announcement, and they made it through the announcement board, but it was talked in the content creator section first, where we all debated it. The debate in the content creator section was basically, that it is different than the kill mail bot, because, with a kill mail, it's not really relating to any in-game information that's pertinent to your information, such as someone in your system. I basically refute that, basically saying that, yes, that is true. It's not affecting actual live gameplay, but you can look at those kill mails, and basically deem what that character flies, or if it's a doctrine ship, and how to counter that. Basically, they went on saying that through the talks with the admins, that if a software is taking it directly from screen and putting to Discord, that goes against the EULA. However, if a player is manually uploading it, such as a kill mail, that does not go against. It's the automation that is the key factor here. And the dev's official announcement on it is that it's been brought to our attention that many players are concerned with the legality of certain Discord bots being promoted in several different social media and discussion boards. We thought it would be best to provide an official stance on the subject to alleviate any doubts or misconceptions. The use of any Discord bot to capture, collect game information from the game screen and post it in Discord against NetEase EULA. Specifically section 3.3.3, you can find the EULA in the link provided. The administration do not condone or advise the use of any bot that performs this function and deem it in a violation of the user agreement. Now, what they're referring to there is the 3.3.3. It states, use of cheats, automation software, bots, hacks, mods, or any other unauthorized third-party software designed to modify any part of the game, collect any information of the game, or connect to the game, including but not limited to simulating game user operations, changing the operating environment, modifying data to disrupt other users' game experience through the employment of external software, including but not limited to scripts, robots, plugins, button wizard software, or third-party tools, i.e. the multi-open function under the simulator, synchronizer, recorded macro, key mapping, or cloud phone. But again, this also raises the question is how can they enforce that, since they cannot see it on their end? And there's the rub. It would have to come from within via spies within Discords, or disgruntled pilots leaving one organization, joining another, and providing this information, or just a pilot in that organization sharing it on the outside. There is no way to tell if someone is using this type of software. Now, in the comments section, there have been some pretty good debates on this. One person states that, I think the question I'd like to hear or other content creators ask and answer in more detail is, what's the counterplay against stationary scouts? You know what system they're watching, maybe you can guess the location in the system. What do you do? Could you just hop in and out of the gate in random holes to basically obfuscate the results? Trigger so many pings as to render the report useless? Do you try to bait a few times to see if you can catch a pirate? Or, do you have the ability to maybe misdirect the bot? Another person comes up with a solution that maybe we can narrow the minimum scan radius below 70 so that you can scan down cloaked ships. So most of the community is against this. Some people are for this. It's really a hot button topic. And of course, with all hot button topics, Bradrick does weigh in on this. So let's go to Bradrick and see the official stance here. And he says, yes, this is some bullshit, and my alliance better not be participating in this. This is some weak shit. Actually get good and employ your small ship pilots and mercenaries to defend Sov space. I hate players who do this. This ruins a large part of my playstyle as a rapid response defense fighter in Sov. This type of bullshit is exactly the reason why I don't write about Sov defense. Most alliances don't actually employ their members to do these jobs, and it hasn't become a full-time career to make ISK. Because of covert ops, cloak cameras, and this is just an escalation of the epic proportions, this is cowardice, get good, and play the game, you cowards. You want to know how to fix it? Find out who's doing it, and turn their Sov into rubble. Fly aggressive. And with the looming possibility of battle, could this actually spark a war between AAA and Void, since it was a pilot who left AAA and went into Void, and that's how the information was gotten. So a few days later, basically Benzie came out with a community post talking about his side of this and that it rattled some cages. He says that, he wants to defute some of the common points and squash them in a public manner. He states that, everyone's doing it. Okay, next time you get a speeding ticket, try that on a cop and see where it gets you. It's no excuse. Well, actually, that's not a good example. Because if you are going 20 miles over the speed limit and everyone else around you is also going 20 miles over the speed limit, that means you are going with the flow of traffic, which again, you cannot get pulled over for. And if you do, you could point this out. Doesn't Void use cameras? Yeah, I've said before, it's something I'm not really comfortable with, but even then, those are just cams. They have to be monitored. I'd argue that this is at least some form of gameplay. A bot that reads the screen, records the data, then reports it is a wholly different level. Sure, could a human watch the screen and type those out? Yeah, but that's basically the same as a guy in the game sitting cloaked on the gate and typing in allaince chat. It's the automation that's the issue. His third point to squash is, it's not against the terms of service. Well, actually, it is. The TOS mentions any use of external tools providing an advantage to select players. NetEase has confirmed they're taking the report seriously and looking into it. Beyond this, it's actually against Discord's own TOS, so you can even report it to Discord for investigation as well. Point 4 is, yeah, but they still lost a Rorqual even with the bot. See point 1, using an illegal tool poorly is still using an illegal tool. Number 5, who is this hurting? Everyone. The more automation slips into the game, the more this becomes what is the expected baseline. Let this go long enough and suddenly everyone needs to use it and to be competitive. That takes us out of the game. Beyond this, what if the bot maker starts demanding a monthly upkeep fee? Now you need to pay to stay relevant in the game. The game is designed to require players to patrol their own space to defend it. If you feel that you need a bot to allow you to stay in nullsec, maybe nullsec isn't where you should be. Number 6, you're just butthurt. Oh please, I'm here to defend the game. If a part of the community is threatening that, you can be sure that I'll call it out. Same reason I've been calling out NetEase's bullshit recently. That's not negativity, that's realism, and I will always call out things that demand this game and its overall community. That damage this game and its overall community. I hope this clears up some of the confusion. Stop botting, stop automating the game. If you don't enjoy playing, then find something you do to enjoy playing and do that instead. You're going to be much happier and healthier. Well, if Benzie is calling this out, then he really needs to call out all cams to stop, because there is no way for NetEase to find this out without the player base alerting it. So in the end, and the conclusion to all of this, that this really doesn't fall on NetEase's shoulder to uphold the TOS. This actually falls to each and every one of us, the community, to report it when we see it, to stop it. But then again, it's as long as the automation end stops, It's basically the same thing that's been in play in this game since the first OCR bot that came with the Fireflies back in the game launch. I myself don't feel one way or another about it. I'm not for it. I'm not against it, because like I said, I've dealt with this in the game since the game's launch. So it's always been in-game in one fashion or another, and just like all things get tweaked over time. And that's what happened here. So this video went a little bit longer than I thought it would be, but I hope you guys all stayed till the end of this. And trust me, I will get the other news out as soon as possible. We have another one of these one-off stories coming up as well, and that would be the departure of Dead from No. As well as, if I get the time, I'll start doing just some short videos of the, maybe the patch notes, or maybe the dev Q&As, and we can all have a laugh over them. But stick with me, I won't let you down. And on that note, have a great week, have a great weekend, fly safe, and remember, we're always one vision, one purpose, one front.